Hey guys, Ethan and Kevin here from Journey to the Top. Welcome to episode number 2. We've got a special guest, William Chan from Savills here, one of the young guns, putting in a bit of work.
Yeah. Explain to us again, what's your journey been like to the top of the Upper North Shore market? Have you done it?
Yeah, thanks guys, thanks for having me. I started about 9 years ago as a PA, and at the time I was green, didn't know the area, and then from about 2.5 years did a sales assistant role, so did everything from letterbox dropping, door knocking, cold calling, everything. Anything I was asked to do, I pretty much did. And then once I finished uni, I went straight into sales, and that was about 6 years ago. Yeah, so it's been 6 years from then, and we've grown pretty good market share at the moment.
Rapid rise.
Yeah.
Rapid rise in a very short span of time.
Yeah.
Have you done it? What were the main, I guess, tasks that you've done from that 6 years ago, from that point where you've gone straight into sales to where you are now? What do you attribute those factors to?
So it's compound interest. Is sort of the people that I dealt with in the very beginning. They still remember me, and I still do business. I've sold for people 2-3 times now. So I think it's about that compound effect, where in the beginning you're hustling hard to get momentum, but once you've got people that you've done a really good job for, and then they refer you and they use you again, and then it just builds up. Yeah. So,
do you find a lot of your work now is referrals, or?
This year's been huge on referrals. We're getting a lot coming in at the moment. Before it's just listed, just sold, open for inspection callbacks. Those were the key sort of things that we did.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember having a conversation with you a couple of weeks ago in relation to databasing and what my database should look like. In terms of how you're running it, what's kind of your system of do you have more of like a get this out on a certain date? Do you have pretty much a marketing plan, and if so, what does it kind of look like?
Sure. So with the database, we basically send out something every single week. We'll send something quarterly, more around the sales results, but the weekly should be what's on the market, what do we have listed. We do a lot of off-market sales as well, so about 30% of my sales are off-market.
Wow.
So we'll pump it out to the marketplace. We'll have, could be one person turns up and they might buy it, or it could be 10 people turns up and the neighbor buys it. Who knows? It's whatever happens on that open for inspection database. But once a week, just listed. If it's something that I want the whole database to know about, I'll just send it out to everyone.
Yeah. So you do a lot of direct mail?
No, just on the emails.
Okay,
This is all on emails.
Beautiful.
I guess to get to a point where you're selling like 30% off market, which is just massive,
huge,
you'd have to have a good team behind you, where they're like buyers agents calling them pretty much all the time to keep them in touch. What does your team look like?
So I just put on someone in the last 2 weeks. So now we're a team of 3, not including myself.
Great.
So an EA and then 2 sales assistants. There's a lot of outbound call that goes out to the database, and mainly it's from open for inspections, and we just stick to those people until they buy.
Yeah,
sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What are their numbers looking like in terms of connects? Do you run through connects and stuff daily? Or
I think they're on between 50 and 70 calls a day. Connects probably half of that.
Okay.
Do you have them aim for a certain amount of appraisals database as well, or how do you just sort of structure that team?
At the moment, it's just numbers on calls and connects.
Speak to as many
people as you can. Yeah.
Okay. I guess to get to that point where you are one of the leading agents in the area, you'd have to be going through a lot of homes every single week, if not every single day.
Yep.
What do your numbers look like, and what does a perfect day look like to get to that point where you're producing those types of numbers?
So what do you mean?
In terms of how many market appraisals are you doing per day, and what does your perfect day look like around structure? Do you have a certain structure that you have lined out?
So Monday, Tuesdays are open for inspection callbacks. We try to get the reports out to the owners sort of by the end of Tuesday. Wednesdays and Thursdays are prospecting days for farm areas or past open for inspection. Friday is like the buyer roundup. We're calling all the inquiries. all potential buyers to push them into next for Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's
Reminding him.
very structured. So 2 days on OFI callbacks, 2 days on prospecting for new business, 1 day for pushing buyers to opens.
Okay.
Wow.
Do your assistants follow that same structure
So
too?
all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, when you're preparing for open homes, obviously leveraging off other properties,
Sure.
do you start that throughout the week, or you only do that on Fridays?
So they call all the inquiries. Monday, Tuesday, it'll be around midday.
Yeah.
Inquiries,
Yeah.
and then Wednesday, Thursday mornings.
Yeah.
In the morning, get in half an hour, just get through all the inquiries, call everybody, and then put a note to call them on Friday if they're going to see a property with us.
Yeah, definitely. How many houses do you usually go through in sort of a typical day? What's your goal to how many appraisals you do?
Appraisals. I do about 7 a week at the moment.
Yeah,
Just
perfect.
on average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're usually more so, I guess, listing appointments rather than just price updates.
There used to be price updates a lot more, but now they tend to be a little bit more on the listing
Converted
side of
more.
things. Yeah,
Mm.
and like your conversion grows as you get better.
Yeah, of course.
I guess you've reached the point where you are one of the top agents in the area, but where do you see yourself going now? What are your goals?
For me, it's just about better service, better systems, grow the team. That's where I'm heading. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you're seeing a lot of these agents that are creating kind of like really, really big teams at the moment. How far do you think you can take it in terms of where you see yourself? How big can you grow a team at the moment? Because some agents are putting in massive teams.
I don't know. We'll just have to see. Have to see. But I think it comes back down to managing your sales and cash flow. You know, having a big team might not necessarily mean you're making the most money.
Yeah.
Because with every person comes on, there's another investment that's required. And if you have a bit too much going out that month and not enough coming in, it's a bit difficult. Yeah.
Mm.
So I think just managing the cash flow is important. So it depends. If you can manage it well, you can grow it more. If it's slowing down, you probably need to be a bit careful around that.
When did you know when was the right time to put on assistant? When did you feel like it was the right time? Or was it
Probably second year.
second?
year. I
Okay.
think first year, I mean, I did it probably a little bit slowly. So I did about a year on my own, and then I put on a part-timer, and then it sort of grew from there. So, but if I had to do it again, I'd go full-time, probably as soon as you can afford it.
As soon as you can afford
As
it.
soon as you can afford it, yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got, enough for half a year in savings that you don't need to get paid at all, and you could,
Yeah.
and then you could just live on that and then grow the business, and that's probably a good start.
Yeah, definitely. What are some sort of, I guess, morals or ethics you like to run? Because I guess in sales, we're sort of a business within a business.
Yeah.
What are some ethics and morals you like to, I guess, hold yourselves to when you're running your business?
Definitely do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
So if you're saying you're going to send someone something, just do it,
Yeah,
and do it fast.
yeah,
And that's probably the key thing. And be direct. I think people, especially in our area, they can pick up whether you're BSing them or not. So you got to be talking straight with them. This is the situation. Be transparent. You don't need to tell them everything, but it's important that you just be straight with the facts.
yeah.
For sure. In the market that we're in, the Sydney market, you're seeing that the market is kind of falling or adjusting from what it has been in the last few years.
Yeah.
And instead of going down with the market, you've kind of gone the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
What's the main thing that happened, or what's the main actions that you've put in place to get that going instead of going the opposite way, like a lot of agents are?
Yeah, so I think with the market going a little bit, like getting a bit slower, I think the market is now gravitating towards better agents. So they're going, instead of asking what's your commission, they're asking how you're going to get my house sold.
Yeah.
So if you're a better agent, if you're able to sell more property, better track record, you'll find that a lot of owners will be coming to you, or a second time round, they'll try and look for who's the best rather than who's the cheapest, exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you're trying to trade more properties, then you just got to get pricing right from the beginning. And then you can give them examples like, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, this property started here, sold here, we don't want that for you, we actually want you to go a bit higher. In order to do that, we can't start here, and then just see what they say.
Yeah.
So making sure you utilize those case studies.
Yeah, case studies, a lot of case studies, and just say, you know, we don't want you to be on the market for more than, you know, 2-3 months.
Yeah.
We want you to have a nice quick sale and get the best price. Yeah.
Do you take a lot of, I guess, previous sales or case studies to an appointment when explaining the whole price, or?
I think 2 or 3 brochures of properties that are similar to theirs would be good.
Yeah.
And also probably if you're tracking your market in terms of houses or apartments, and you see them drop price, or you know what offers they're getting because you're talking to those buyers, then you can tell the owners. So something advertised at say 175 may only have an offer of 165 or 1675, for example.
Yeah.
So if you know that information, you can just tell the owners, we should be starting at 1675 rather than 175, and then having to come down. We might even get a bit more competition, push it higher.
So market knowledge.
Very important.
In terms of personal growth, is it to a point where are you just head down working, or are you looking up and reading a lot, doing a lot of personal development courses, or is it just plain just straight hard work at the moment for you?
I think you can probably take a little tidbits from everyone. There's a lot of coaches out there. I think they're great, and it's good to sort of have a bit of mix. A bit of videos, a few catch-ups over coffee, and you know, a book here or there. Just mix it up. Yeah.
What would you tell yourself when you first got into sales? Not necessarily those first couple of years, but when you got into that sales role, what would you tell yourself, or the best piece of advice for yourself that you would have given?
I think it'd be build that database. You know, stay in one area, don't move around too much, because if you move around, you're actually affecting your own momentum. And so, you know, changing areas, changing agencies. I think if you can just stick to one and work on it for the long term, you'll find you'll be probably the most established person in a couple of years.
Because real estate is sort of like a snowball.
It is.
As you start to pick up more these things, it's a lot easier to sort of pick up.
100%.
That's right.
Cool.
Perfect.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
Awesome.